Welcome to Sharing My Truth with Mel and Susie, the uncensored version, where we bear it all.
We do.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello and welcome back to Sharing My Truth Pod. You're here with Susie and Mel, and we're just going to give you a little reminder to review and rate this podcast 5 stars because we do have a little praise kink and we just want the best for you and us and this community. And don't forget to follow us also on all of our social medias, which is at Sharing My Truth Pod. And you can also leave us a DM, send us a little voicemail at sharingmytruth.com. Hey, babes.
Hello, darling.
How are ya?
I'm fine.
Just fine.
Oh, no, I'm good.
You just got your blood taken. That was pretty scary.
I did. Well, it's a blood test. It's not that bad.
I mean, it's like menopausal.
Yeah, it's to find out all my levels of whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's to make sure I don't know. Who knows what it'll tell me?
I truly don't know.
It probably won't tell me anything.
It'll tell you you're pregnant.
Don't. That's not even funny. That's to a woman in her 50s who's got 2 children, who's staring at freedom. That's
We're done.
like,
We're done with this.
You want to fucking freak her out? Tell her that. But no, it wasn't very exciting. Yes, I had to have my blood taken, and I don't mind it. And obviously, as a woman who's had children, I have a very high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
I can literally take pretty much anything. But I can't look at blood. I can't stand blood,
Yeah.
which was actually always a problem with my kids when they were little. I really don't like it. I would have made a terrible surgeon.
Ugh.
I have to look away.
I don't like blood either, but it's just like it's like the taking of that's anyway.
Oh, I don't mind. I just don't want to see it. But then I had a nice ice cream from
yeah,
McDonald's.
so a little chocolate sundae.
I'm a bit keen on the chocolate sauce from McDonald's. Mackie D's. Mackie D's is what we call it in England.
Very nice.
If you want to sponsor me, just the chocolate sauce. If you want to send it in, I'll be your taste tester.
I'm surprised that their ice cream machine was working. It never works.
That's true. Seems to be fine on St. Clair.
Look at you getting your little luck machine on. You
My
know?
luck machine.
Yeah, because it's a good luck thing that the
Oh,
ice
is
cream
it?
machine.
Well, my kettle broke this week. I was very upset.
So things are looking up then.
Things are looking up. Chocolate sauce.
Chocolate
McDonald's.
sauce.
It's $1. It's great. Yeah.
It's $1.
It's $1 for an ice cream. It's absolutely hilarious.
Okay, we gotta go.
I don't like anything else at McDonald's.
Just the chocolate sauce.
Just the chocolate sauce. Even the ice cream, yeah.
You want to send Mel a gift? It's got to be chocolate sauce from McDonald's.
McDonald's. Just in a tub.
just
Probably
just
gonna
in a
get
little
weird
tube.
tubs
Oh
with-
fuck yeah! I'm excited for it.
Anyway.
Oh fuck me. Okay, let's just
moving on
let's
to
get
the
right
episode.
into it. Absolutely. Well, we've had a little bit of a chat about this, and we're talking about if women prefer using their vibrators over having sex with men.
Yes.
Like the real deal versus a robotic dick, pretty much.
A robotic dick.
Yes, a robotic dick or, a clit stimulator. That's also robotic.
Yeah. Well, those little rose things aren't dicks, are they?
No, but they are still robots
They
meant to
are.
pleasure us.
They are.
And that's why I'm not fearful of robots ruling the world. If it's all of those, why do I fucking...
Well, exactly.
I would love that.
That's a very good point.
I
I'm going
would
to say that
absolutely
next time
fucking
somebody
love
says
that.
that to me.
But yeah, so, I mean, I don't disagree with these women who are maybe taking that step to figure out if they like the vibrator more than they like the man, and if they're maybe not going on as many dates or if any dates at all, or if they're just staying home with a little sexy little vibrator or dildo.
Yeah, I mean, I did, as I told you earlier, I saw a TikTok about this.
Yes.
As we know, I like my TikToks.
She's TikTok queen.
TikTok queen. And this woman who was saying how she's like hasn't had sex with a man for 2 or 3 years and she's not bothered. She just doesn't care. Now, I understand if you haven't met a man who's worth having A, sex with, or B, a relationship with, then really it's a lot of hassle and, maybe, you want to just use a little friend, as in your little robotic friend.
Your little friend.
And I do understand that. But obviously there's the element, it doesn't replace intimacy or companionship or any of those things. So it depends what you're comparing. If you are saying a shit relationship,
Yes.
partner, whatever, no intimacy, no feeling, no nothing. And I'm not talking about love. I'm just talking about connection.
Yeah.
Connection. There's a good word.
Very good.
That's very sort of
It's
medical
very
of me.
real, very
Yeah.
medical.
Versus just having, being at home, having some sushi, glass of wine, and your friend, and watching Bridgerton. Fair enough. I get it. I totally understand.
I'm saying, are you saying that people are masturbating to Bridgerton?
Oh, I think people. Oh, the first series definitely. I think they did. Oh, I know they did.
I just love that for people. People aren't getting enough porn in their lives if they're masturbating to Bridgerton.
I mean, it's pretty raunch. Well, it was raunchy-ish.
You didn't see his dick.
No, we're on. Oh, I just saw Queen Charlotte. No, not that one. The first one with the really good-looking guy.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't watched it
his
since the
name?
really good-looking guy was there because
What
I
is
just
his
don't
name?
like it. I don't know his name. Oh, René Jean
Yeah,
Page.
even though he's very English, but yeah. And obviously, people were, a bit of period drama, a bit of a sexy.
I mean, the women
guy,
love it.
and the insinuation of rumpy pumpy is going to is enough of a cocktail.
I mean, if
of love.
if you're going to use your vibrator, I guess use it on that.
Yeah, but you don't have to see it's enough. It's enough info to see him with, and he had his head up her skirt and all that sort of thing.
I honestly can't remember.
I'm
but
trying to
it
think of
sounds
some
really
of the
good.
scenes. There were some really quite
sexy
raunchy scenes.
I mean, I could understand people masturbating to Sex Life. Remember that one? Did you ever watch that one on Netflix? Sex Life. It was
I don't think
actually
I
filmed
did.
in Toronto. Hella. And
I think I did.
and there was a scene with a huge dick. They actually showed a dick, which I'm
Excellent.
very impressed about.
Excellent.
It's just there's so much sex, and I do love that they are actually putting out the real tits and the real dick
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
We're not doing some silly thing where we're wearing a bra having
Yeah.
sex, it's
Like I would
really
masturbate to probably the thought of his big dick because it's huge.
the thought of his big dick. Yeah, well, this is the point I'm making. We digress a little bit as usual, Susie.
Yes.
Is that if the option is shit relationship, not great sex, like not great connection,
Yeah.
stroke sex with a man, we're talking men, versus a vibrator
Yeah.
and a quiet, happy life,
Yeah.
I'd go with the second.
Right.
But it depends what you're comparing it with. Obviously, if you have a hot hookup guy, do you like
yes,
my
a little
lingo?
hot hookup.
Or you have a good relationship,
Toy boy.
then obviously you don't just want your vibrator. You can't talk to your vibrator.
No,
Maybe
but
some
it does
people
give you
do.
orgasms more than man
100%.
will.
And I think herein is lie.
Herein is lie.
Herein is lie. The thing is that so many people still do not understand this.
Uh-huh.
That women, and what is the percentage? We've said this in past episodes. Like much bigger percentage. It's a very small percentage of women who actually are able to orgasm from penetration.
You know,
alone.
it's why. It's
People
because
don't understand this.
well, because men, they do this thing. It's like you're having sex with a guy. It's actually going pretty good. It's not bad. The rhythm's good. You're doing great. And then we're like, oh my God, I'm going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy goes fucking bananas and he completely stops the rhythm. He stops doing whatever he's doing. And we never come after that. Do you know what I mean? It's like they get too excited and they're like, what do I do?
Oh, I see.
And then we have to be like,
Right.
well, it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Give me another 15
yes.
minutes and get back to the rhythm and we'll see.
Yes.
But with the vibrator, we're completely in control.
100%.
Completely in control of our
100%.
own orgasm. Which
100%. And
Yeah.
as many as you would,
as
your
many.
heart desires during the day or during the week or
And like,
whatever.
you know what your rhythm is. You know when to take a break. You know when to like,
Well, yes,
keep
and
going.
you also can do what you want.
yes.
You don't have to do what somebody else wants,
Yes.
and you don't have to go through all the other bullshit. You just get to it.
Fuck the bullshit. Give me an orgasm.
Exactly. If that's what you're in the market for, then obviously it's very helpful. But so that's the point. What are we comparing it to?
100%.
I understand if you don't have a boyfriend or you've had many shit relationships or
Yeah.
you've had a lot of bad connections
yes,
with men,
the chemistry is
then
not
I
there.
I get you'd be like, fuck this for a lump of cheese. I'm just gonna get myself or whatever.
Fuck it for a lump of cheese.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's an excellent English expression for you. But obviously there is no substitute for human connection. I mean, that's why as human beings We crave it.
Yeah.
We crave touch. I mean, there's all sorts of studies about people who are alone and who are lonely, and how loneliness is terrible. It kills people. It's chronic. I mean, we've seen it from the pandemic, obviously a very extreme version of that. How fucking lonely people were.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. And I never get the chance to be lonely. I'm continuously surrounded with people. So I don't, with children, my husband and people and family and
Well, you're right, in the
business,
city too.
and I have
like,
people
there's
around
just
me all the
going on.
time.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine what that must be like if the basic thing, like my husband was away this weekend and my kids were away. So I was on my own, and I went out with some friends, and then, of course, the rest of the day I was on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, for me, that was lovely because I don't normally get that.
Yes.
But even after a while, and this is one day, you're like, my God, am I talking to myself?
Right.
I'm talking to myself. And it's weird.
Yeah.
The silence is weird. So
I think, it depends on the person for sure. Like, as myself, I feel like we're very similar people in this way. We're obviously like, we just need people around us.
Yes.
We need these connections.
Yes.
We just need these people
like
that are like,
people.
we're people.
We're people.
We're people.
People.
So we're people's people. But I know a lot of women who, maybe they like men, but they rather hang out with their dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally understand it, but I think it is to do with the relationships they've had, i.e. they haven't had great connections with men. They haven't had a great relationship. Again, I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about they haven't had this amazing connection with somebody. And if you haven't had that, and we can all think about, maybe the first time you had sex, and when you're very young and, people, you think it's going to be this amazing thing. And then you're like, oh, most women, I think their story is like, oh, yeah, is that it?
Yes.
It's normally terrible because probably the other person is very young and they don't know what they're doing and whatever. And then the vast majority of women do not orgasm until later in their life, 100%. And some women very late in their life. So the whole thing is just shit. So you just think, hang on, we've all been building up this thing. I've got to get my kit off. I've got to worry about, and then it's shit.
Yeah.
And you think, what am I bothering for?
100%.
And not to mention it's shit. I have to date men who let me down, who tell me I'm fat, or who tell me I'm this, that, and the other, or who ghost me. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what's the point? I completely get it.
Yeah.
But if you do meet the person who, it is a great connection, and you have intimacy, and again, you can have sex without intimacy and intimacy without sex. I mean, intimacy is that connection, that lovely feeling with somebody. That if you don't, that is very hard to not want that. Everyone wants connection and love of some kind. In your case, maybe, as we've discussed in previous episodes,
yes,
with more than one person.
I just think like maybe women should start just dating more women, and maybe you're not a lesbian, but go out with your girlfriends and like date your friends, kind of in the way of like enjoy for really good friendship. And then like I am under the impression where I'm definitely boy crazy, and we all know that. I definitely need multiple men around me. Mm-hmm. But I completely understand why women do not want that, or they prefer not to have it all the time, right? And that their vibrator is better at giving them whatever the fuck they need, because we don't need to rely on men anymore for even intimacy, because we can get intimacy from other ways that aren't as sexual innately. But I don't know. I might be with these women. Let's see. So we're actually we're on a little article here from Metro News. It's a UK paper.
It's like a free paper, but they have lots of sexy stuff in.
Yes.
Because we are, well, I think we're slightly perverted in the UK, but that's another discussion for another time.
That's absolutely
So what is this article about?
So it's about 12 women explain why they prefer using vibrators instead of having sex with men. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're talking about with men because men really don't know how to make us come. We're not talking about lesbians who mostly know how to make us come.
Yes.
I just wanted to make that absolutely clear.
Thank you, Susie, for that
Happy LGBTQ month. It's almost done. You're almost done being gay and happy. Now we have to be gay and sad. Okay. First woman says, I can do it again and again. I have control over the pace of my orgasm, and I can do it again and again without having to wait for a man to recharge. True.
Yes, very true.
So true. Because I mean, this doesn't happen to me as much anymore where I'm like, I just want to keep going.
Mhm.
But I remember when I was younger and I was just like, let's fucking go. And you do have to wait for the baby batter to be back up in the balls.
Oh, I see. The what?
Sorry, I watched something about Mary last night and this is a term that they used. A baby batter. The baby batter in the balls. Like the semen.
Oh, I see. I'm following you. Right.
The baby batter in the balls.
Right, got it.
So, yeah, you don't have to wait for that to happen
I
again.
see. Yes, yes, that is a technical engineering issue
Yes.
that you do have to wait.
And also, it's like, since they come so fast, it's for the most part
Yes,
faster than us,
yes.
technically.
It's easier.
It's just like you have to, if they don't make you come right away, you still have to wait for them to recharge, and then you lose your
You use
erection.
your mojo,
Pretty
your
much.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're fucking out of it. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, you can't be asked.
I have to go fucking do the laundry.
Yeah.
I've got to go see my friend at 6 o'clock. Like, let's get on with it.
I would say that happens to a lot of women.
Yes.
Because women also, when they had, and we've discussed this before, when many times, that men can have sex to relax,
Yes.
whereas women need to relax to have sex.
Yes.
So women in their brain, and the older you get, the worse it gets, the more things you have to do.
Right.
You're like thinking, okay, so I need to pick up, so and so at this time. I need to go to this dance recital. I need to wash this. I need to do this. I need to finish that piece of work. Or all these things are going on in your head
Yep.
all the time. And then, oh yes, and I've got to deal with this situation right now, i.e. the sexy bit.
Oh.
And you may not be feeling super sexy. So if you get out of the rhythm,
Yes. It's hard to
then-
get back into
yeah,
it.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, the next one says, sometimes I'm impatient.
Yes.
While I don't always prefer vibrator, sometimes I'm impatient and I want a quick orgasm. Sex is
Yes.
great, but there's also a lot of involved. And when you have a partner, sometimes I'm just not in the mood for foreplay.
Yeah.
And that's yes, because
I totally agree
with
that.
a man,
Yeah.
for myself especially even, I 100% need the foreplay.
Yes,
You don't need that with a vibrator.
you don't.
And then you also have to, the ping pong foreplay. You got to do a 69er. You got to do a whole fucking kissing his balls. It's like, sometimes I just want to fuck myself. You know?
Just want to say, if anybody just wants to bring it down to the brass tacks, just invite Susie around.
I'm going to say what everyone's doing, okay?
Yes.
Everyone's
Well,
kissing his balls.
It's the truth.
And we're sharing the truth today, Mel.
We are. There's no dancing around it today, Susie.
Yeah.
But I think she's 100% right.
Yes.
Is that sometimes, much like men want to get on with it,
Yes. So do women.
Women do too.
We don't always want to take an hour. I don't want to fucking take an hour. I want 15 minutes of really good sex.
An hour's a lot.
So much. And that's so much friction on my pussy.
Well, yes, it could get very sore.
Very sore.
That's not very nice. And who's
No.
got an hour? There's so many other things to do.
Oh my God, Mel, you're just preaching to the choir. Okay, next. I can stop when I like with no guilt. So if I can just get off, it's a bit difficult to do that during sex without an understanding partner, and it can actually make me come, unlike most partners I've had.
Also a very good point.
Yes.
Because sex obviously is, two or more.
Yep.
Did you like the way I just
I love
put
that.
that in there?
Wow.
2 or more people. So and it is about, not being selfish.
Mhm.
It's not good. It doesn't work if you're selfish in sex. So that is a point that you can be very selfish with a vibrator, and you do literally you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about anybody else's feelings or whatever else.
Well, just there's
Very
no
good point.
pressure.
There's no pressure.
pressure to make them come and make sure that
Yeah.
you're also, because women are just are taught from such a young age when we first started being sexual that we have to put on a fucking show.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting when all we wanted to do is come like a man.
Yes. I think you've said it.
Am I done?
You've nailed it.
quit?
You've nailed it. Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Okay, so men and plainly, this woman says it plainly, men don't make me come. Okay?
Fair enough.
Vibrators make me come, men don't.
Yeah.
The vibrator works every time, but I'm not guaranteed a climax when I'm with a man. The vibrator works at different frequencies for long periods of time, obviously. If my man is eating me out, sometimes the pace slows down and I can't blame him. His jaw is probably hurting.
Yes.
Yes.
These are all real issues.
It is interesting to me. Like, if you asked a man if they prefer giving themselves a hand job, like masturbating, or a woman giving them a blowjob, they would pick a woman giving them a blowjob.
100%.
But like, isn't that weird? Like, they have it right on hand. We have to like use a vibrator. You'd think it would just be like,
Yeah, I see. Yes.
it's also like very easy for us to get sex whenever we want. We can have any man pretty much. Like, it's not easy for it's not hard for women to get sex, to have sex.
No.
But to have good sex,
put your mind to it.
it's
No.
fucking exhausting, honestly. It can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because not very many people are very good at it,
Yes.
is really
And really
the
just
reason for that. But yeah, I mean, but also, I think she's absolutely right that, you know, a lot of women are not able to orgasm with just a man and no tools.
Yeah.
But the best combination is obviously the man and the tools,
Yes.
if you get my drift.
I do get your drift, Mel.
Excellent. Excellent.
This one's kind of funny. They don't talk. Okay?
They don't.
They last longer than 4 seconds and you can get rid of them straight after.
Wow. That's almost sounds like what you traditionally would think a man would say.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of women we're finding really do think, if you want to say it, think like a man.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Completely agree with that.
And I love that. Get in control of your pleasure, you know? And this woman says, I love being in control of my own pleasure.
Yeah.
As much as I love the connection of another person, I love being able to control my own pleasure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to be selfish and get off and go to sleep and don't want to have to worry about my partner's needs. And honestly, I feel the same way because I've talked about this. I'm a night sex person.
Yes.
And
we have discussed.
we've discussed this. And it's sometimes nice to just do it yourself and get the fuck on with it and go to bed.
Yeah, this is quick.
Quick and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Quick and easy. Nice little, midnight snack, if you would.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. You can look at it
Sex-
that way.
Yes, you
Mhm.
can. Sex might disappoint. A vibrator will always give me an orgasm, whereas sex might disappoint, especially with someone new. There's no guarantee that it'll be good, so I'd rather just masturbate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of a sad view of life.
That is sad.
I mean, that's a bit depressing.
Like, you can't just be like, it might do this, it might do that. You kind of have to have the experience. But if you're too scared of it being shit, then
but I mean, you could do both.
yeah.
I mean, that would be my answer.
Yeah.
Is go and try, and if it doesn't work with that man, okay, go home and you've got your vibrator.
Yeah.
Or bring it along with you.
Bring it. Yes, bring it
Don't leave it
along.
behind. If you listen to our previous episode, do not leave it behind. It's very bad news.
Do not fucking leave it behind. Promise it's not going to be good. Okay. Next one is I don't worry about my safety. This is a really interesting one. It means I actually come and I don't have to worry about my own safety. Tinder guys are mad. Yes. So
Yeah.
true.
I mean, I have absolutely no experience, as I'm sure you will be aware of Tinder.
Yes.
But it has been my thought when I look at it, or I know lots of young women use it, like the complete nutcases there are when you just walk down the street,
Yep.
let alone connecting on an app and getting naked with them. It terrifies
Terrifying.
me. And there's been some horrific stories where horrible things have happened.
Yes.
And you can just imagine that, of course, that happens. And to me, that's absolutely terrifying. Not that it's any less terrifying than in my generation. It was more like you went to a bar or a party and you hooked up with
Went out with
somebody
someone and
that
then
you didn't necessarily know, that you might be somebody's friend of a friend of a friend, but still could
That's
be
still happening.
could be a
though, yeah.
lunatic. It's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know actually how you circumvent that, though.
Well,
'Cause then
yeah.
you're never going to meet anybody.
Well, that's also hard because it's like you could also be dating someone for the longest time and they could be either cheating on you. So this is also a part of safety. Like if you cheat on you, you get an STD or STI
Yes,
from it,
for
right?
sure, for
So
sure.
it's like, yeah, you don't have to worry about any of these things when it comes to your vibrator. That's what all this is. Like,
100%.
but obviously I'm all about having the experiences. I love a one night stand. You know,
You're
it's
not the one night
exciting.
stand.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it's like if you're if you're attracted to them, and it's not like you're wasted. It's like you can actually like remember it the next day, and you're like, oh, that was kind of fun, and like that was kind of hot, and it was nice meeting them, and like whatever. It's not like you're taking it's like it's a casual, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it can be very fun. Obviously, be safe. You know, use a condom.
Absolutely.
Definitely use a fucking condom, please, if you're having any one night stands. And yeah, obviously trying to like, if you want to just go home with someone that night, tell your friends where you're going, put your location on, you know, just be kind of safe about it, and hopefully they're not super creepy. But obviously things happen, but you can't just live your life. We just talked about this. You can't live your life with fear of things trying to disappoint you.
No, you
things
can't.
happening like that.
You can't, because if you don't try, nothing's ever going to happen.
Exactly.
You'll be safe and you'll be okay, but you'll never be happy, and nothing exciting is ever going to happen to you if you take
Yes.
that attitude. So I mean, my overall feeling about this whole discussion
Yeah.
is that obviously because like sex toys are so much more kind of in the central narrative, i.e. like it's just much more accepted today. Every woman's got one, everyone probably over the age of 18, every woman over the age of 18, it's much more socially acceptable. They're very easy to buy. It's not weird. Nobody giggles anymore about it. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes they still do, but not in the same way.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to some kind of dubious site or buy them in the back of a magazine, sort of Hustler magazine or something in the old days. But so it means that we're talking about them, which means I think more women do use them than they did in the past.
Yep.
So they are realizing, like you're saying, that an orgasm is almost like a function of the body. Like, you know, a lot of women talk about, like, if they have period cramps, and they're talking a lot about it for menopausal women, like having the relief that can have. And you know, the sort of all the saying men used to say, or in the past they'd say, oh, that woman's sexually frustrated or whatever, she needs to get, you know, fucked basically.
Yeah.
And the sexual frustration is just is the lack of that release, much like a man.
Yeah.
It's just that women can control that release, whereas men can't control it in the same way. But now that we have this, you know, the fact that it's fine to use sex toys means that you can relieve essentially what it is pressure, and then just feel de-stressed.
Yeah.
And I think we've understood that a lot. I don't think we're talking about that, but I think women obviously have realized that this feeling of pressure or anxiety or stress or whatever, that they can relieve themselves, relieve it, and then feel, oh, I feel way better. I mean, it makes sense.
Of course it does. 'Cause, yeah, it's not.
And that you don't need a man to do that.
You never need a man to orgasm. That's also a thing that,
Or a person.
yeah, exactly, but mostly men, because you know. But it is getting a lot better with women actually taking control of their sexualities and their sexual health, and like their own orgasm, and them, like, women, if you want to have sex with a man and you want to come, you have to show him what to do. You can't let him take control unless that's what really gets you off. You know what I mean? You have to know what gets you off to come, because men are 100% on mind readers, especially in the ways of sex, because there's already too many things going on for them. They're too excited. There's too much happening. You have to like make sure that you're telling them to slow down, and like you're telling them to kind of maybe move to the left, you know, like
100%.
please, like, do you like to eat girls out? Like, have these conversations beforehand and find out if you're sexually compatible, because yeah, obviously if you're tired of having sex with men who are bad in bed, maybe it's just we're not talking about enough before we get to the bedroom.
Yeah, and you're with the wrong men.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're with the wrong men, then I completely understand why you'd want a vibrator.
100.
But in an ideal world, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, it's fine.
In an ideal world, you want a great partner
Yeah.
who satisfies you.
Ugh, easy.
A great partner.
Easier said than
And
done.
you want your collection of vibrators. You don't want to be...
No, exactly.
Because I think it is a very negative kind of thing if we're starting to say, of course we don't need men to survive, but men don't need women to survive, technically. But if we are together and we're talking about men and women, male and female relationships, it is obviously stronger. It is obviously a better version than being alone.
Yes.
Right? So I understand why a lot of women are saying this, but you might be quite lonely.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the long run, I don't think this is very hugely sustainable, because also, I mean, I'm just talking for myself because I have a vagina, but
Really?
yeah, if you can imagine, but like it is the orgasm that I have with men sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes is a lot more exciting, powerful,
course.
strong than
Of
with
course.
just myself and my vibrator.
Of course
Like,
it is.
yeah, like you're gonna have those amazing orgasms
course.
with someone else.
Because it's about the connection. Somebody's touching you. You're with them.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is the problem, I think, with most people's sex. That's my final word on this.
Yes, love.
Is that they have sex and they don't understand that you don't have to be in love with every person you have sex with.
No.
But you have to connect with them. You kind of have to respect them.
Yeah.
For at least that time that you're doing it. And if you're not connecting, if you're not kind of together in that, want to do this thing well together, and then it's not going to work and it's going to suck.
Well, yeah, it's so weird. Like, I feel like, obviously, being a sexual person, like I can feel chemistry when I have it with someone.
Right.
I don't know if a lot of people sense it the way I do, because obviously I just don't know. But like, there is that kind of a weird sparkly feel when you meet someone you're actually attracted to and want to fuck.
Of course.
There is that feeling, but I just don't know if women are feeling that enough, or if they're just, like you're saying, meeting the wrong men and like not feeling it,
I think
when they're going on dates, or
they're not meeting the right men.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I think life is becoming incredibly insular, in the sense that if you think about it, you get up every day, maybe you go to the gym, you work really hard, you're tired, maybe you go to a couple of social events a week, and the older you get, the less that gets.
Yep.
The more people are coupling off in whatever is going on in their partnerships. They're getting busy with that, and they have children and so on. So you're getting more and more spending time alone.
Yeah.
And it's harder and harder to meet people. And I think, and that's obviously why the prevalence of things like Tinder and all these various other apps, Bumble and whatever the hell they are.
Fuck off.
Whatever they're called. This other one I was
Hinge
and feet. Anyway, whatever it is. It's for like kink stuff, like for hookups. Feet, beep. Somebody has to tell me. Something. Anyway, as you can tell, I use it all the time. If you have to use that to connect or meet people, it's hard. It's hard to meet people. It's hard to meet the right kind of people.
Yeah.
And I think it does get harder and harder, and you have to put yourself outside your comfort zone and so on and so forth. So quite frankly, it's a lot easier to just not do that.
Yeah, but ladies, don't give up on, if you want that connection and you do. I know some women don't. That's totally fine. If you do want that connection, you have to put yourself out there. And I think I love that you said that, Mel. Like, you do have to put yourself out there and let you feel scary feelings and let men make mistakes. And sometimes you do have to fucking teach them what they're doing down there. But maybe you find a man who wants to learn and who wants to give you pleasure.
100%. And I would also say, remember that you're not going to meet if you sort of decide, right, I'm going to start dating or whatever it is, you're not going to necessarily meet the person on the first date.
No.
Kind of try and chill out about it. And think that I might go through a few people.
Yeah.
But that's okay. And if they don't work, or one person was this and one, that's fine. Don't be a nutter about it. Like, don't get so wound up. Just move on to the next.
Yeah.
It's research.
It's research, as the Brits say.
Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
So go out there, ladies, and do some research.
Exactly.
It should be fun research.
Research. Do some research. Do some research. I mean,
do some discovery.
Isn't that the way to look at it?
Yes, it is.
I mean, it takes a bit of research to find the right
And then
thing.
when you go on these scary date stories, we want to hear them. So
we do.
when you go on these Tinder dates or wherever you're meeting your men, and then you come back and then you write us a goddamn letter of how it went.
Yeah, but please, if you are in any situation where you think
it's not going well,
move away, get away straight away.
Yeah.
You feel any vibe that this person is in any sense off, creepy, whatever, get yourself out of that situation straight away.
And you can DM us and we will
Yes.
do whatever you say.
Just remember that you, as a woman, your intuition is very, very good.
It is. Your gut feeling is
your
usually right.
creepdar is very, very good. Get out of the situation.
That's
Move
right,
away.
Mel. Mama Mel.
Yeah, I'm telling
Mama
you.
Mel just said
I have
it.
done that. I told you, one day I crawled out the toilet window.
Yeah, you did. Sometimes you got to do that, ladies.
Run.
Crawl out that toilet
Run
window
for the hills.
and get yourself a vibrator.
If they're a creep, just this and this, I really is my last thing. If they're a creep, they're always a creep. They're never
There you
gonna
go.
change.
That's so fucking true, Mel.
They're not gonna suddenly become nice. Get
You're
out.
full of wisdom
Get out
today.
that toilet window.
All right, darling. Well, this has been a lovely little day with you. I'm so happy we did this.
It has. It's informative.
It's extremely informative.
in the research.
And
that
we'll
we've been
obviously
doing.
put this little article in our blog for
We
this
will.
week. And we love you so much, guys. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for listening. Until next time.
Until next time, we shall see you soon.
we will.
Sharing My Truth Pod is so excited to partner with Vibrator.com, where the A in Vibrator is the number 8. This is an extremely exclusive code where no other podcast has it. If you go to Vibrator.com right now, use the code MS15, that's MS15 at Vibrator.com. You can now get 15% off anything in store. That's any sex toys for you, your partner, your neighbor, your mom. We don't judge. Get it now. Go to the link in our bio, put in the code, and get jiggy with it.
Thanks so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast and follow us on social at Sharing My Truth Pod and leave us a voicemail on our website, sharingmytruth.com, to share your stories and experiences with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.